Attorney for the Southern District of Texas. Joining me here at the podium are representatives of the Department of Commerce's Bureau of Industry and Security, the National Security Division's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section, Homeland Security Investigations, and the New York branch office of the FBI. As the Chief Law Enforcement Officer for the Southern District, I have no higher responsibility than safeguarding our nation's security and protecting the American people. Some time ago, the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Texas and DOJ's Counterintelligence and Export Control Section began an investigation in tandem with the Department of Commerce, Bureau of Industry and Security. That investigation became a coordinated law enforcement initiative, Operation Gatekeeper, aimed at identifying, disrupting, and prosecuting networks engaged in the illegal underground smuggling of cutting-edge technology from the United States. We are here today to announce the first results of that operation by the unsealing of the guilty pleas of a Houston-based technology company, How Global, and its owner, Alan Shu, for illegally smuggling or attempting to smuggle $160 million worth of high-value computer chips out of the United States. The case against Shu represents an important milestone. It is the first arrest and the first ever conviction for an AI diversion case. At the same time, we are announcing the arrest of two businessmen, Ben-Lin Wan and Fan Yu Gong, for their roles in allegedly violating U.S. export controls and smuggling laws by shipping to co-conspirators in China those exact same chips Shu admitted to smuggling, specifically NVIDIA H100 and H200 Tensor Core graphic processing units, also known as GPUs. These GPUs are nothing like the graphics cards you find in a home gaming computer. No, they are among the most powerful processors on the planet. They are designed to train and run AI. And we're not talking about AI like ChatGPT or Google's Gemini. Rather, this AI can be used for direct military applications such as designing weapons, operating drones, and analyzing intelligence data. At their core, these cases are about individuals who deliberately conspired or worked with others to send this technology into the hands of America's strategic competitors. In terms of specifics, Alan Shu, who is known also as Haoshun Shu, owned and operated How Global, which is used as a front to purchase these advanced GPUs from a U.S. supplier in North Carolina. Shu then smuggled these chips out of the United States by using false descriptions and documentation of goods, referring to them as adapter modules, adapter cards, and computer servers. Shu and others working with him knowingly exported or attempted to export $160 million worth of GPUs during the period of October 24 to May 2025. Shu's Houston-based company, How Global, was a shell company. It had virtually no assets or resources. Instead, Shu funded this scheme with more than $50 million in wire transfers from companies and individuals that tied back to China, including money from a Hong Kong-based logistics company. Not surprisingly, the GPUs that Shu purchased were destined for China and Hong Kong in violation of U.S. law. Through the incredible work of our law enforcement partners, we were ultimately able to disrupt Shu's scheme and seize millions in dollars of GPUs and prevent approximately 100 million more from heading overseas. Fan Yu Gong and Ben-Lin Wan were also alleged to have conspired with employees of that same Hong Kong-based logistics company and a related China-based AI technology company to violate U.S. export control laws. Gong, a Chinese national with a pending asylum claim, is a resident of Brooklyn, New York, and the owner of a Brooklyn-based technology company. As the complaint alleges, through his business, Gong hired individuals, almost all Chinese nationals, and directed them to warehouses in the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area. Those warehouses contained millions of dollars of NVIDIA GPUs that were being prepared for export to China. At Gong's direction, these men removed NVIDIA labels from the GPUs and relabeled them under the fictitious corporate name Sandkian, doing so to conceal the true nature of the shipment. The shipping paperwork also misclassified the goods as adapters and adapter modules. These events were witnessed by an undercover law enforcement agent that had been planted at the warehouse. After these men left, law enforcement seized the GPUs with a value well in excess of $30 million. As for Ben Lin Wan, Wan is a native of China, now a Canadian citizen. He's an executive with a Virginia-based subsidiary of a Beijing, China technology company. A separate criminal complaint alleges that Wan helped recruit and organize individuals to inspect a batch of mislabeled GPUs on behalf of the same Hong Kong-based logistics company. Specifically, Wan allegedly directed his inspectors not to say the GPUs were destined for China. This was not an accident or a misunderstanding. As described in the complaint, Wan was a party to conversations on how to evade U.S. export laws. The parties on the other end of these conversations were based in China. Before I conclude, let me say this. This is just the beginning of Operation Gatekeeper. Do we believe that the 3 defendants charged are the only 3 people in the United States overtly operating to export critical technology? No. Do we believe How Global is the only company operating as a front purchaser for diverting these chips? No, of course we don't. The Southern District of Texas will find each and every person or business working to illegally export these critical technologies to our strategic competitors. We will be relentless in finding them. That is what Operation Gatekeeper is for. The stakes are high. The country that controls these chips will dominate AI. And the country that dominates AI will lead the future. The Southern District of Texas will find and prosecute anyone who attempts to undermine America's technological superiority. And with that, I'll turn it over to Assistant Director